Okay, I'm gonna start by thanking you all for being here, and now I'm gonna show you how to make this really pretty map over here. Let me give it a second. All right, welcome to my tutorial, and I'm gonna show you how to make this really great map over here. As you can see, it's a static map, and it shows all the attack events that happen within 25 kilometers of hospitals in this area of Nigeria. So you could see the legend, the locations of each event that happened within the buffer, the hospital themselves, 25 kilometers away from the hospital, and a short description, and the data sources for all of these, which would be OpenStreetMap and Armed Conflict Location and Event Data, or ACLED. But I will do a quick demo on how to put together this map, and it'd be really easy and really quick, and could be helpful with any type of project that you're doing. So we'll just get started. So first, I'd like to show you the main platform, which is QGIS. It's an open source tool that a lot of people use for GIS. Best part, it's free, really easy to use, and pretty accessible. You could just download it online. And the best part is that we're going to be working with the most data that you're all probably familiar with, which is an Excel spreadsheet. So I'm just going to pull it up. So, you have your data organized in a table like this, the headings. But the most important part for us to use is, the spatial component right here, the latitude and longitude. Locations are great. And so administrative locations are great if we have spatial data tied into that. However, it's really the latitude and longitude part that's the most important. So we're going to add that in. Go on layer, add delimited text layer. And then this is just to show you that really, as long as you have that latitude and longitude coordinates, you would be able to add any type of information onto QGIS. And it's pretty simple. So like here, the X field is latitude, Y field is longitude. And then we have the geometry, which is the projection. And that's super important because you want to know like where everything shows up on the map. And we just add, and there we have it, all the ACLED data right in Nigeria. And so what we're going to do on top of, right below that is put together, a base map. You want a base map similar to Google Maps, just so you know in context where many things are. This is OpenStreetMap, but there are also different other choices we can use. Like for example, there's also Satellite. Here, I'm going to try to drag it. Okay, so that's not going to happen, but yes. So they're here, OpenStreetMap. You could see the ACLED. And so what I'm going to show you is the important part into getting this file map we've seen is that these are all noted as attacks. And that's pretty important. We want to know what the attacks are. So first, I'm going to show you how filtering looks like right here within the database. So the filtering is pretty simple. We're going to open up the attribute table. And the attribute table is just exactly like what you saw here in Excel. You have the country, you have Nigeria, except now it just has a spatial component all tied. So as you can see, it's the same information, data, ISO, event ID, event number, same thing here, data, ISO, event ID, event number, and you even still have the latitude and longitude. But I'll just show you, how filtering goes. Similar to Excel, well, you could just use the filter function in Excel, but here we'd have to make a query. And what that looks like is, we just go and select by expression. There's a lot of tutorials on how this is done online that you can watch a lot of YouTube videos, but essentially we're going to want to look at the different fields. So we want to look at the sub-event types and equals, and we're going to look at all the unique values and attacks. So that we're going to select those features. As you can see, all of these areas that are attacks were selected. and you could be over there. And so then right over here, you have all the ones that are selected highlighted yellow. And what we want to be able to do is export that out. So we only have the data set that are attacks. So we'll put out the shapefile, select an area where to save it. For our sake, we can put it in the repository. Let me say, call this ACLED _ attacks. And my dog wants me. Mila, go back out. Mila. Go. Mila, go. Mom, why'd you put her back in my room? She's being annoying. Oh, give her this. She makes her face about the best. See? I know. Look. Okay. Okay, so we are back at exporting all the selected areas. As you can see, they are in bright yellow. So we're just going to hit export, save only the selected features, the ones in bright yellow. And we're going to call them ACLED _ attacks. Let's call it only. We just hit OK. And there you'd have it. Those in green are only the locations where they're attached. As you can see, they significantly went down. And so what we could also do is bring in hospital data. That's pretty much just like the information that we're trying to see here. We're trying to identify, which attacks are within specific hospitals. And so we're just gonna, drag and drop the hospital locations that I also got from OpenStreetMap. And those are all these locations over there. And now you have, all of these locations. We're going to switch to some other preloaded area really quickly, but now you have ACLED attacks in Nigeria, and you have the hospital locations. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you some quick symbology changes so that you could better identify which are hospitals. So for hospitals, instead of having it red, let's say we want, something that is more hospital-like right here. We can have the Red Cross symbol over there. And then for ACLED attacks, let's say we want that to be a little bit, we can stick with the red theme here. Have them all be red. Maybe we think that's way too big. We can also change that, make it smaller. There we are. All right. And so these are all the attacks within this specific area. And I'm going to show you how to select the ones within buffers only. So what you would be able to do is, first we're going to create a buffer, where you just go to vector and buffer. There are many tools that you can use and many different things, but buffers are pretty simple. And you just have to fill out the different forms that we could learn online, but here I pre-made the buffers for us already. And so those are all within the area. Now I'm going to show you how to select, points within a buffer. And this analysis can be done on a countrywide level, on a more local level. So we're we're just going to do a quick selection, which is select by location. That's where we want to select the features, which is, the ACLED attacks that are intersecting within the buffer. And we're going to create a new selection. As you can see now, nothing is selected. But when I run this, the areas in yellow are selected. And those are the attacks that we want, taken out of there. So we're going to do the same thing we did. And this is pretty good when you already have the features that you want selected. Just export them out and say, ACLED attacks within buffer. And just like that, we have all those attacks that are within the buffers. And a really good way just to take this all out is we'd have to create a map layer that involves, all this map making abilities, but essentially, that gives this gives you, the end product that you see over here.